This is Houston Newsmakers with Cambrell Marshall.
Well, it was a happy day unlike many others for hundreds of nonprofits and institutions across the country as they received word they received millions of dollars in donations. Prairie View A&M University was one of them, with word that they would receive $50 million. YMCA of Greater Houston was another, with $18 million added to their coffers, the largest single donation in the Y's 134-year history. Joining me this morning to talk about these amazing windfalls, Dr. Ruth Simmons, president of Prairie View A&M University, and Steve Ives, president and CEO of the YMCA of Greater Houston. Good morning to both of you. And Dr. Simmons, I know that the pandemic has certainly put a real impact on your university, as it has done on a lot of institutions of higher learning. How has this gift been able to help make it a little bit easier to deal with?
Well, first of all, the most important thing to me about this gift is it arrived with no strings attached, meaning that we could use it for any purpose necessary. And so I learned about this gift and received the money on October 20th. And we carved off a piece of it, $10 million, to get it to our students as quickly as possible to alleviate some of the financial problems that they were experiencing because of COVID. And so it meant all the world to be able to do that for our students and to do it so quickly without restrictions.
That is an amazing opportunity to just drop that in right away because the students are really feeling it. Steve, the YMCA of Greater Houston been around for 134 years and had to change a lot in the past year with this business plan. Talk about how this $18 million is going to be used with the Y.
Well, we faced $50 million of revenue disappearing over the course of the last 9 months from membership and programs and school programs. And in the face of that, our team just charged forward with doing what was needed and doing the right thing in community. It was a faithful act. We believed that our community would be there for us and that we would find a way to make it work. As of the end of this month, we've now helped deliver over 9 million pounds of food to almost 1 million people here in the Greater Houston area, as well as having the virtual learning centers and the full-day child care centers for essential care workers. All the while finding ways to piece it together and hoping that we would have some philanthropic support and some government support. This couldn't have come at a better time to just reinforce that doing the right thing at the right time when it's needed most is the right thing to do, and that it can be rewarded, but as well as giving us the confidence to stay the course going forward and make sure that we continue to do that very important, vital work around lifting up families, supporting community, and advancing equity in our community. At the same time, knowing that we have the financial resources that are going to allow us to continue to amplify that work as well as our innovation. So it was a Christmas miracle for us. Dr.
Simmons, I know that it's nice to be able to get that donation, but the reality is it would not have come if your university had not exemplified something, some character, some qualities that made this organization say we wanted invest in what you do. It has to say something about the way your university has continued to carve out a place for itself within our understanding about what great universities can do. And Prairie View is really a gem that people really are still now just finding out about in a lot of ways.
Yes, but of course Prairie View has been here for almost 145 years, and yet it was founded right after Reconstruction for the purpose of retaining a separate educational system for Blacks. But over the ensuing years, it built an incredible reputation for serving the African American community and moving Blacks from the margin the center of professional life in the middle class. And so its track record is something we're very proud of. At the same time, I think that McKinsey really understands the inequity in society and is trying to do what she can to narrow the gap between traditional institutions and institutions like Prairie View. She knows that she went to Princeton, of course, which is the wealthiest university in the country, and the per student investment at Princeton is enormous. She knows what the gap is between a place like Princeton and a place like Prairie View that is still trying to do the same work that Princeton is trying to do for its students. So we're immensely grateful to her for having the insight. But I like to tell people that one of the things that is so important about Mackenzie, important things to know about Mackenzie, is she was taught by the mighty Toni Morrison. And because Toni Morrison was on the faculty of Princeton, she had an opportunity to influence Mackenzie.
Wow.
And that's what's so important about having these models in our universities, to teach our students and to give them examples of the diversity of life and the kinds of things that we can do to contribute to society.
I did not know about that connection. Thank you so much. I'm learning at the feet of my professor, Dr. Simmons. Thank you so much for that. Steve, talk about the YMCA also is focusing on equity and some of the issues that go along with that. And there's, partnerships galore that the Y is exploring to try to make sure that more people can understand that, correct?
Correct. So we launched earlier this year our Equity Innovation Center, which was really an opportunity to draw people together, draw other agencies together in our community that are advancing the work of equity, that are lifting up sometimes marginalized populations in our community and providing that extra support and help. But at the same time, also helping folks like myself and others who need to understand better what it means to have unconscious bias and some of the systemic issues that contribute to these inequities that people experience in our community, and exercise our right and our privilege and our opportunity to undo or deconstruct some of those systems. And so we're deeply involved in that as our staff team here at the YMCA, but also in partnership with other corporations and other not-for-profits, and with Prairie View A&M and other partners that get this, understand this, and also recognize the opportunity that we have in front of us right now to make a huge difference for how things turn out for people for decades beyond our time here.
Dr. Simmons, is the Prairie View dollars and cents that come into the university, how does that change? Has it been growing over the last few years? And is it growing according to your strategic plan, or how does that work?
Do you mean our fundraising?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Well, it's quite extraordinary, really, because we have quite an upsurge in significant donations. Of course, our alumni have been very loyal, and we've always received donations. But I would say, on average, they're pretty small. But very recently, we've begun to get $1 million plus donations, and which, of course, as you know, will make a huge difference in the kind of programs that we need to mount at a research university. Right. But there's also something that's very wonderful about Mackenzie's gift, and that is, in the wake of the announcement, we're getting feverish activity from institutions, corporations, and others wanting to make sure that they contribute to Prairie View. And so I think that her gift is going to spur other large gifts for Prairie View, which is really so wonderful.
Can that work for the YMCA as well, Steve? Are you starting to feel that as well? Is that something you're hoping for?
Absolutely. We elevated our sights at the beginning of this year and got very crystal clear about responding and reinventing, and all of our philanthropic outreach was related to that. I think this just raises the bar. I think it creates relevance. And as Prairie View and the YMCA and Goodwill and the others in the Houston area deliver results at an extraordinary rate, I think it's going to help people understand that let us do what we do best. That's a beautiful thing about how Mackenzie is doing her giving. She's experimenting, I think, with a new way of giving, which is just endorse the organization, invest significant dollars so that organization can do what it does best and do it well and achieve results. I'm hoping that this will be the start of something in terms of how people think about both our institutions and the the philanthropic and the not-for-profit organizations in the Greater Houston region, and our ability to achieve results individually and collectively.
Well, full disclosure, I am the unofficial president of the Ruth Simmons Fan Club, and I am also finishing my third and final year as the chair of the board of the YMCA of Greater Houston. So it just so happens they're both in good graces as we start in 2020. So thank you both.
Thank you.
And so nice to see you,
Gabriel.
and congratulations for what you've been doing, and good luck on the endeavors going forward.